We're not all able to afford packaged survival food, and some folks simply don't like the taste of something that you have to rehydrate. So I wanted to talk a little about commercially canned or tinned food and maybe dispel some myths along the way. Okay, so there's the food safety disclaimer, and this applies to all survival food, not just the commercially canned variety. You can't hold me responsible for eating bad food. Be smart and be responsible. Be careful what you eat. If you've ever had food poisoning, then you'll know it's not a joke. If the can is bloated, expanded, swelled, compromised, etc., then chuck it. If you're unsure, open it and check it out. If in doubt, if it smells bad or looks off, then chuck it. You might be happy to take more risks in a hungry survival situation, but otherwise chuck it. If in doubt, chuck it out. First, a couple of facts about canned food and tinned food. Canned food and tinned food are one and the same these days. I don't know about the rest of the world, but it seems that generally in the US they're called cans, and in the UK many still call them tins, but essentially they're the same thing. Canned food is generally packed at its peak, often very close to the source of the food. Most canned food and vegetables contain no preservatives and are fat-free. Most canned food is available in low salt or no salt alternatives. Vitamin levels in canned food remain stable during the shelf life, and by keeping the cooking juices, canned foods lose remarkably little nutrients over time. Canned foods are often far fresher than frozen or market fresh foods. About packing dates. The packing date is generally coded on the can. If you have a can without a wrapper and you want to know what's inside, there are websites out there that you can check the code against. If you've no luck there, or if the power grid is down, then assuming the can isn't compromised, open the damn thing up and check it out. Refer back to my disclaimer about food safety, please. About best before dates. According to the US Canned Food Alliance, the safe life of canned food is much longer than that stated on the can. In fact, they state that canned food has an almost indefinite shelf life if stored safely at moderate temperatures. All canned food should have a shelf life of at least 2 years, after which neither the food, the can manufacturer, nor the canning company will guarantee the quality. That said, as many like myself will attest, you can double the best before date for most canned foods, and even beyond that they remain safe. Although you may notice a change in quality, such as colour, texture, and even taste. However, the food should remain very palatable and will remain a stable survival food. But remember, revisit my disclaimer, and if in doubt, chuck it out. Note that non-acidic canned foods retain their quality longest. About calories. In a survival situation, calorie is king. Remember that whilst cans of fruit and veg should be a part of your store and are great for vitamins and balanced nutrition, they can take up a lot of room for little calorific return. Meats and beans, etc. will give you a bigger bang for your buck. About stock rotation. Rotate your stock. The old buy what you eat and eat what you buy maxim remains sound, but you're likely to put a few tins away for a rainy day, maybe more than a few. So keep a tab on your purchasing and best before dates, and rotate old stock to the front and newly bought stock to the rear. About BPA. BPA has been used for some time to line many food and drink cans, protecting the food from bacterial and metal contamination. If it's of concern to you, then you may like to carry out your own research. I believe that currently the UK and EU remain happy with BPA, and I read one report that stated an average adult consumer would have to ingest more than 230 kilograms, that's 500 pounds, of canned food and beverages every day for an entire lifetime to exceed the safe level of BPA set by the US EPA. Like I said, investigate it for yourself if you wish. For me, preparation is all about weighing pros, cons and risk. On balance, whilst there are definitely cons, I'm very happy with canned food. Okay, so some pros of canned food. It's difficult for rodents and insects to get at it. It stays fresh an awfully long time. It's relatively cheap and comes in great variety. It doesn't require water. Indeed, it comes with its own water, which supplements your survival water. It can be eaten straight from the can without reheating. Cans can survive a knock or two, even an earthquake, where many other preps won't. Cans can be stored safely in multiple locations for years without any maintenance requirements. Some cons of canned food. Like water, cans can be very heavy. Cans can take up more storage than other survival foods. Your canned food store can be difficult to relocate, so it's not ideal for bugging out. If you're unadventurous in the kitchen, then you can tire of canned food very quickly. Like I've said, on balance I find canned food a quality cornerstone of my own preparation. I've safely and enjoyably eaten from rusted cans that remained uncompromised and were 10 years beyond their best before date. The damn thing's a prepper's wet dream. And if you find yourself unarmed and defending your stash, then they can make great projectile weapons too. Haven't you watched that Crocodile Dundee scene? So go on, get some tins in. Cans, you know they make sense.